Welcome, welcome, dear ones, to The Sage and the Song. Britta here, and I am here with a dear friend and an ally and a colleague and a person who I've been learning from and dancing with in different circles for a number of years. The lovely, the delightful, the brilliant Simon D'Arcy. Welcome.
Thank
So
you.
happy to have you here, Simon.
Thank you. It's good to be
So,
here. I like
yeah,
hearing all the different ways. We have known each other for 12 years, something like that.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Santa Barbara
yeah.
days.
Santa Barbara days. Yeah,
Yeah.
met through mutual friends in Santa Barbara and got to, yeah, play in some different realms there, in some singing realms and some community circling and some authentic relating and some yoga and some New Year's parties and other things.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a conversation today about music and being a music maker and a beauty maker and how this practice and this process of making music touches our lives. And as I remember when I reached out to you about having this conversation, what kept going through me was this utter just knowing that making music and my experience with a music practice is that it's made me a better person, that it's made me a better friend, that it's made me a better leader, that it's made me a better lover, that it's made me a better earth dweller. Like in so many ways, it really impacts our lives. And so I'm excited to get to hear a little bit of the particulars from your life. And I would love, Simon, if you could give us a little introduction. Who are you in the world and how do you spend your days?
Good to be here. Thanks for creating that nice little wide playground of a topic to play in. So my name is Simon D'Arcy. For those of you that don't know me, I live in Santa Barbara with my lovely wife. I'm a father of two grown daughters. And I spend my professional life, I'm an executive coach, and I work with leaders and their teams to help create more thriving, heart centered, conscious cultures and ways of leading in large companies, particularly companies that are growing quickly. There's a huge amount of pressure. And so I've spent the last 30 years working with leaders and teams. And on the side, I am passionate about community. I'm passionate about, whenever there's three or more gathered, we there's something else other than you and me and person three. There's this entity that is us. There's an us here, and there's a quality to us, and there's a possibility of us, and there's a way we can be together, whether it's a work group or a play group or a family group or a friend group or we just met at a conference group. And I've always just been fascinated with how groups can pretty easily, with a little bit of intention, come into more coherence, resonance, and honesty with each other. And it can become not only a psychologically safe place, but a place where we get to grow and reflect and together. And that's kind of irregardless of context, right? All of
Mm-hmm.
that is possible. Like the best groups function as people growing machines,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So that's a little bit me. I cover that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I remember that you and I ended up sitting on the same airplane leaving Santa Barbara once when we barely knew each other, and one of us moved seats so that we could actually just sit together on the plane, and you were sharing with me about culture making. And back then, I think it was a concept that I had heard of, but since then, I feel like it's, at least in my sphere, it's become so much, it's become a much more well known and talked about kind of bigger topic across different realms, and maybe, like economic spaces and different, different cultures, really.
Yeah. Call it culture building. Culture building. Yeah, like everybody, in the sense that we're all culture builders. Like you think about, there's big C culture, like it's this thing that's out there that happens to me. And then there's like, no, there's actually how we're relating right now, a way of being with each other that on a micro level in the small group, we have influence over. It's not a given. And that's that right. Can be intentionally shaped.
Yeah. Yes, which is such a great entry point into music, because the first thing I want to ask you that I'm genuinely curious about, because I haven't heard from you about before, is what was the role of music in the culture of your family and your household growing up? Because I don't know about you, but from my personal experience and the talking to people, music is such a particular element, like a very specific thread in how it weaves into the tapestry. And I've spoken to people who, there's such a vast spectrum of like, oh no, we didn't do that, or like, oh yeah, we did that all the time, or like, oh, well, it was kind of embarrassing, but so I'm curious, in your personal family culture growing up, what role did music play?
God, I love this. I love this because I had no idea. I haven't thought about this question ever. So I remember my mother was a piano. I played piano. My grandparents were both piano teachers.
Oh my gosh!
And that's how they met. And I took piano lessons. I remember that. Both my parents, they were divorced, but even both households, I was like the typical latchkey kid in the 70s, right? So just think Gen X, really on my own for most of the day, after school especially. And both my parents liked playing music really loud and just enjoying it. So I remember my uncle and my father would be playing Scrabble till all hours of the night, playing really loud classical music.
Okay, I was just going to ask, what was being blared?
And then classical. On the other house, it was like jazz and John Hartford and all sorts of different artists. And then just, I guess, fast forward into my teens, I joined the choir. When I was 15, I joined the high school choir. I'd never sung before. I did an audition. He says, "Ooh, you might be able to be in the magical group." I'm like, "Ooh, cool." So I did that, and that was my first learning how to tune to other people. There's like one thing to sing by myself, is another thing to sing with 19 other people. And have to really tune. And then I think the other thing to say is there were always really, really good musicians around our house when growing up, like professional level musicians. And in fact, I didn't consider myself a musician until like literally a year ago. Because I was always surrounded by so many really, really good musicians. My roommate in college, music major, composer, been composing for movies and commercials and TV shows for 30 years, and I was like, well, that's a musician, and that's not me. And so, yeah, I remember that. That's kind of how it started.
I love imagining you as a 15-year-old taking that leap of faith and auditioning after, I mean, in my memory, a lot of kids who did choir in high school had also done choir in middle school and had, kind of been on the choir track. And for the most part, yeah, you didn't see too much of that, like jumping in. And I actually also auditioned for choir out of left field nowhere when I was 16. I think I
Yeah.
was, yeah, a junior, and like sang a song from Rent. And they were like, "You're
525,000.
great." And like, you're gonna have to do a semester. I like wanted to do the like fancy fun,
Right.
like jazz choir. And they were like, we want you to join. You have to do a quarter or whatever in this other choir, and then we can boost you up. And I was like, I think I just needed to audition. I'm good. But I sort of wish that I would have done it because, yeah, learning about music. I mean, you probably learned to read music, or did you already know how to
No,
read
I
music?
did. I learned, so I took piano lessons, and I've always had a pretty musical ear. I was really grateful for that. So I've always called myself musical. I'm musical.
Aha,
And
okay.
I can hear things, and it's been a blessing and a curse. Like the blessing is I can actually hear, I can hear that harmony, and I can hear that pitch, and I can hear when it's off, and I can hear when it's on, and I can hear a little bit of what's possible, which is great because that gives me like places to go. But then on the other side, it's like a trigger for the inner critic. Like anything that doesn't sound how
Mm,
I want it to sound or think it should sound is like this, like abrasive,
yeah.
almost. I've had to. I'm actually
Mm,
still working with like how do I work with the noticing of this gap
hmm
between what
mm,
something inside feels is possible or even in a bad moment should be happening and versus what's actually happening.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
I never experienced that. I don't know what you're talking
Like
about.
like I was playing literally this was like even in the last couple months I was playing a song at like a community singing thing. People are taking turns to bring a song. I was just singing a song everybody knew. So people were singing, and then I was listening to the percussion. There was a couple drummers in there, and they were trying to drum with me while I was playing this song, and I was just like, I just felt bad. I just felt bad for them. Like they were trying so hard to stay with this inconsistent guitar strum. I'm just like, oh, I can't even do anything about this right now. I'm just gonna have to like keep on playing and singing, and it's just can't. I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, drummer over there in the corner. Thanks for hanging in there with me.
Ah.
Anyway,
And there is the teaching of the metronome, the
right?
practicing with the metronome.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you just mentioned singing at a community sing in front of people on guitar singing something. So, when you became, when you, I guess, crossed the bridge from being musical to like, I am going to make music. You said you had the roommate in college who, I don't know, you were
Yeah.
inspired then. And like, at what point did you start to feel comfortable, or did you kind of throw yourself in the deep end singing in front of other people?
Oh wow. I God, all these memories are coming flashing back. I started singing barbershop a little bit after college. Did like barbershop Christmas carols with my friends, like organized us, and we would go to, like assisted living homes and places around Christmas and sing or just go caroling. That was like a good outlet. I learned, it wasn't until I started learning guitar
Mm-hmm.
that I started really learning some songs. I have like 2 songs or 3 songs I can sing on the, with the piano, but I don't practice piano enough.
And
And
was that recent learning guitar? Like how long ago did you start learning guitar?
it's been kind of years, but I first picked one up in college and didn't really do much with it until my late 30s, 40s, and then I really started learning, really teaching myself in my 40s, and that's why it's been 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't start having teachers until last year.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm
Mm-hmm.
like unlearning a lot of the things that
Okay.
I did.
Okay.
But the
Fantastic.
first time I sang at an open mic was when I was 20 in
Hmm.
Scotland. I remember that. I
In
sang
Scotland.
your song, Elton John, on the piano at a pub
Oh,
at an open mic. And it was the first time I remember, super rough, like playing and singing. And I'd never really done that before, and all the people, and I'm nervous. But I do remember the transition from the second verse into the chorus the first time. And I remember having this feeling like, oh, like that is such a good song. Like that verse just like presents itself into that chorus. Like I just remember going like, oh, Elton John, holy moly, this is amazing. Like I had never had that experience from the inside of a song. And yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
so good. I'm remembering that Ben told me that his first concert was Elton John. And I was like, oh, just set the bar high. Why don't you?
Yeah. Billy Joel,
Oh my God.
first
That's
concert.
amazing.
The Stranger, 1984.
Modest Mouse.
Ah,
Before they were pop in Olympia when they
it's
were
important to
like
say, huh?
real
Before they were
grimy.
pop.
So good. So good. So I I think about, you were talking about like being musical, and so many people think about being a musician as this clear archetype, like you are or you aren't a
Mm,
musician. And of course, you also are a leader and you work with a lot of leaders and companies. And I'm curious about being so kind of segregated with these archetypes and how we can start to really view a more holistic picture of ourselves
mm,
as humans who have a lot of interests and actually whose personal lives and creative lives
mm,
very much inform who we are in our professional life,
mm.
right? And I know you had shared with me a little story about kind of, yeah, the LinkedIn guy and
Oh
like
yeah,
seeing somebody meld these things like in
totally,
culture building,
totally. Culture
right?
building, music. Okay, so a couple things I want to say about this is, I mean, there's just the real gifts of the practice of music, and for me personally, the practice of music connects my mind with my heart. It connects my heart and my body. When I'm really in rhythm, it connects my body, my heart, and my mind. So anything, any practice, fill in the blank here. Right now, we're focusing on music, but that connects mind, body, and heart and voice. This is a beautiful thing. And so the authentic relating circling connects mind, body, heart, and the present moment. Music connects mind, body, heart, and the present moment. And so about a year ago, I'm going to take a long way to get to where you asked, but I enjoyed music a lot. I would get a song together and I'd bring one, but it wasn't until a year ago. I was at a retreat and in Costa Rica, and I got some feedback from one of the other participants at the retreat, which was actually really impactful, like a little edgy for me. And they brought it in a very direct way and with consent, but I was like, whoa. And the feedback was about how fast I can be in entering social space, particularly with new people. Like I can just like, I get excited. I have like I've always had like a ton of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of joy. My mind is habitually in the future, like leaving the moment and going into the future. And I impacted this person like that as well. And they were like, hey, God, love your energy. Ooh, but could you slow down when you're entering my social space? And I'm like, ooh, ouch and thank you.
Ouch and thank you.
Ouch and thank you. And then we got to talking a little bit more, and they're a musician. And they said at the end of this, said, you with all this energy you have, you might want to really pour that into your music practice. Like that's a place that for that energy really to go, that's like down here and not like out here. And I was like, ooh. So I just made that note, and I decided, I had that insight about like, oh, all these other musicians, they're musicians, I'm not. I'm like, I think it's time for me to have the identity shift. Like, oh my God, I'm a musician. Like I was like, oh my God, I'm a musician. And I'm a musician, because I say so. It's not like, there's no like invisible, like you have to play professional concerts and people pay you millions of dollars to be a musician. I'm a musician because I say so. I'm a musician because I practice every day, every other day. So I'm a musician that way. And I'm a musician in that if there's like a moment where an invitation comes to offer a song or to offer support in someone else's song or to bring music to a scene that will enhance the vibe of the scene, then it's my responsibility as a musician to say yes. And so that's what it means for me to be a musician. And it's been glorious. Like it's been easy to practice. For years, I'm like, I don't practice enough. And now I'm just like, I can't wait to practice. Because it's like, it's joyful. And my heart and my mind and my voice and my body all get connected. So,
and those moments of like what I hear too is that moment of powerful choice point of this is who I am, and I do have this potential, and I choose to feed it. I choose to fuel this part of my being, this part of my creativity, and that you already had all the pieces and so much of the knowledge. And it's just, you make such a great point that there's a moment of choice.
Yeah, there's a choice. Like this is one of my I ams. Like I am a father, I am a son, I'm a husband, I'm an executive coach, I am a musician, and I am a group facilitator. And these are all, I'm a basketball player. It's all super joyful identities.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to say something about there's been a nice convergence in the last year where I've been really seeing how much screen encroachment has been happening in my life. Like, it's way easier to see it out there. Like, oh my God, look how often they're on their screen. But when I'm like really looking in the mirror, like, wow, like when did it start happening that the first thing in the morning, I want to reach for that. And for our bed, I'm like on my screen up until the moment, or on a screen up until the moment I brush my teeth, and when did I start bringing the screen into every room that I go in? When did and someone who grew up without any of that, we would just get lost for days and hours and time would disappear. I've been working on like creating boundaries, not picking up screens for an hour or two or more in the morning, and not putting screens down by like 8:30, 9 at the latest, an hour, 2 hours before bed, so I can do other things. So the music practice has been super useful because now I can slot that in to an evening it's not a screen. I get great joy out of it, and it's like a beautiful, nightcap. Tea and guitar and singing or shruti box or whatever.
Yeah. Music as wellness practice
Yeah,
and
yeah,
music as spiritual practice is one
yeah,
of the ways that it's really come through for me. And there's so many beautiful teachings of patience and embodiment and attention, and as you were talking about with your ear, your finely tuned ear, perfectionism, right? I mean,
yeah,
there are so many
yeah,
really poignant, salient lessons from learning music
yeah.
that we really get to.
Well, then there's also attunement with myself. Like, can I be attuned? Can I be attuned? My brother is in a jam band, and I got to go play in his jam band. They get together. They don't play any covers. They just play music that gets created in the moment. Like they're and three of them are band members in other bands, and they're all like, "This is my favorite jam session because we don't have to like get anything right." And the music's incredible, and one of the guy that leads it is a drummer, and he'll stop and he'll go like, find the one, and he's been my like teacher of like, okay, this has been a useful practice to find the first beat of the four, or the one and the four of the 6/8. And because as for somebody who's just habitually sped up and dove into the future my whole life, like to like practice staying with one in my body has been really good for me. It's been really the only thing that I think has helped slow me down, besides meditation, is putting a metronome on like 60, and just
Yeah. And
trying to
isn't
play
it?
something slow is so much harder than playing it fast.
Oh my God, it's so infuriating. Yeah, there's an amazing teacher. I can't remember if I told you about him, but his name is Brandon Aker, and he's on YouTube. He's a classically trained guitar player, just beautiful guitar player. And he has some YouTube videos, and I have a couple of them on the music page of my website because I was telling so many people.
Oh, how to practice? Like he's like, how
Yes,
to practice? Yes, I
yes,
watched those. You gave those to me.
yes.
Totally made a difference.
I've told so many people that finally I decided to add them to my website so that I could just, instead of always having to like send people just the links, I could tell people to go there. But that's one of his top 5 practice mistakes, is that people, I mean, I think that's the very first one, is that people go too fast. And we are constantly rushing through life, and we are rushing through our music practice, and then we expect somehow to get better, even though if we're trying to play like a guitar riff or a series of chords, and we keep trying at the same speed and we keep making the same mistakes. And so his solution is slow down, and it leads to another one of the big mistakes, is that people don't use a metronome. So pull out the metronome, set it slow enough so that you can hit that sequence.
I hate you, love you, hate you.
Love you, hate you,
Oh
love
my
you,
God.
hate you.
And I have to like catch myself, like I'm not actually synced with the metronome right now. I'm playing and the metronome's going, but we're not connected right now.
Yeah.
And I have to like stop. 1,
Yeah.
3, 1. Okay, just it's it's an
Yeah.
interesting thing, like that part of my mind that like would put the metronome and just like think that just because I put it on, I'm now going to be playing
That
in
you're
sync
now
with it.
playing with
Like
it.
I actually have to like stop.
Yeah. Yes. I know. Sometimes I'll try and just slow down to let it catch up to me, but always it's like, no, just stop. Take a
Stop.
breath.
Totally.
Start again.
Yeah, that and then that part of my mind's like, you're fast, you're fast, you're fast. Slow down, slow down. Like, no, just stop.
Uh-huh.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Which is a gift about why the place I am now is I am practicing and playing to really play with others now. I'm at a
Hmm.
stage where playing with others is super enjoyable and useful because I can really tune. I can really like you named a lot of things that music has brought as a gift, but it's one of the things it's teaching me is
Hmm.
really how to listen and
Hmm.
to attune and it's magical when it clicks. It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
That's right.
So
That's
like playing music with others is just me going in and out of being really in sync and in tune.
hmm That's right.
As my excitement for a phrase happens and I speed up or I get caught up on something playing guitar. Like it's all very what's that like those four stages of learning like unconscious incompetence and then there's conscious incompetence. And I was
Uh-huh.
there for a really long time and
Uh-huh.
now I'm consciously competent.
Hmm.
And then sometimes when I'm singing I can go into a little bit of conscious and unconscious competence where
Uh-huh.
I'm like not even thinking about it, but
Uh-huh.
I'm still really thinking about it. And if
Uh-huh.
I think about it too much, I forget the words.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that's right.
If I
It is
think about
such a
it too much,
fine
I think
line.
about I forget the words. And then I
Yeah.
think, yeah,
Yeah, that's right. Isn't that strange how if you
so
focus
funny.
on thinking about the lyrics, they will disappear?
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
one of the mysteries of life.
I had like I guess a breakthrough in this regard at a very recent retreat. I was singing a song with a group, and I was playing it, and I felt really in my heart, and I was really just letting myself be moved by the song, which is for me the sweetest spot, right? Like, can I actually? Lisa said something recently about this that
Mhm.
she will pick a song that's new to her to bring into to sing because sometimes when she knows a song so well
Mhm.
that it's no longer like there's a freshness, there's like an in the momentness that's kind of gone, and so
Mhm.
she'll purposely bring songs in where there's like it's an edge,
Yeah.
and then it's in the edge that she gets to be in the present moment with it. And so I feel like I had that, and then I completely got lost on the guitar. I literally just like the words, the guitar, it all just melted, and I'm in one of these moments where I'm like, and I started, and I started laughing. I started laughing, and I kind of just kept finding my way, and I enjoyed the like mess up, the
Mhm.
extended like
Mm.
8 bar
Yes.
whatever. And then I got back on track and it was glorious, it was
Uh-huh.
fun. People laughed with me and you know.
Yeah.
So that felt like a good moment. It was the first time I was able to fully enjoy like that extended of a
Yeah.
wandering.
I love that. Speaking of Lisa, this is our dear mutual friend, Lisa Littlebird, an incredible songstress and song carrier. She spent some time working as a volunteer at Esalen long ago, and she was on the maintenance crew. And she recently told me this great story that they would have this phrase in on the maintenance crew, which was fix it, feature it, or fuck it. So, like, when there was a situation, those were the three options. You fix it, you feature it in its mess, or fuck it. You just let it let it be what it is. And I feel like that is such a great non-metaphor for being a musician, being in the moment, running into a hurdle, a snafu, a hiccup, and that we have that opportunity to use our really intuition, because there's never that much time, right? So I feel like this is where the training comes in. And I also lately, after reading some Stephen Pressfield, I think I landed on this idea of like the amateur apologizes and the pro improvises.
Yes, I love that. That's it. That's what was happening. It's
Yeah.
like that moment was the first moment I was just like gloriously not playing the song that I started to play, and it was art. It was as much art and pure expression as the first couple verses, which were good. I was
Yeah.
like really pleased with it. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, that was great.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Something you were saying a few minutes ago about attunement, one of the things that dropped in that I wanted to come back to was this idea of listening, as you mentioned, and this phrase, this word that we use all the time in all sorts of situations, attunement. And that these are actual, attunement is a musical term, and even to be in sync
Right.
with something, right? There's so many terms that we use in our everyday lingo that are actual musical terms or sonic terms or terms for sound, like
Yeah.
the arena of sound. And I'm curious, as somebody who works with teams, who works with leaders, who is a leader, of course, attunement and listening and being in sync with one another as you're building a culture is so crucial. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious,
Mm.
yeah, how that lesson
Yeah.
carries over for you, and any other lessons that you feel like are musical in nature that show up in the
Sure.
workspace.
I love this question because I was thinking, God, there's these other things I wanted to say, and how are we going to get back there? And you just like teed it up beautifully. So, the first thing I want to say about culture is, at least with humans, the way we experience like a sense of us, a sense of a group identity. Like a lot of companies are like, culture's important, but they don't invest any time being in the same moment together. They're all just asynchronously working, remotely working, on Zoom calls, but multitasking.
Mm-hmm.
And very seldom are they, let's actually be in the same moment together. It could be on Zoom, could be on the phone, could be in person. But the being in the same moment together looks like one conversation. Looks like one conversation. And so I think the gift of music is the same. It invites us into the same moment together.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we're just listening, we're in the same moment together potentially. And if we're singing together the same words, we're not only in the same moment together, but now we're breathing together.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like a kind of a direct highway to co-regulation and to like deeper relational field. And, anybody that's done oming or sounding or even breath work together or singing together or song circle together or caroling, like we get in the same moment together.
Mm-hmm.
And it's right up there. It's top three for me in terms of forms of communion and culture building. And then a side story, back when I was doing a lot of research on company culture, I did a lot of interviews with CEOs and leaders who cared about culture. Back in like 2010 to 2020, there was this huge, I think, there was this uptick in younger CEOs that cared about company culture. It was like, particularly in the Bay Area, it was like Google kind of showed the way a little bit. And then there's all these people that went to Burning Man and then started companies. And then they had really well with their companies, so they want to start at other companies. And there was almost like this competition to who could like have the best company culture. And there was such a competition for talent that everybody was just investing in it. And so you had some really amazing stories. One of them was I listened to Jeff Weiner talk, and he was the CEO of LinkedIn, CEO for many years before, up until Microsoft bought them, even a couple years after that. But LinkedIn famously had a really amazing culture as they were growing honest, the way their leaders led, they led with vulnerability. It was just this beautiful situation they had from like 2007, 8 all the way through up till they got bought. But one of the things he said was every time they did their big company meeting, they would do karaoke. And he was into it, and they were into it. And so people would get out there, and he would, give his like 3 tips for great karaoke. And I forgot what they were, but the first one was, don't, especially if you're a guy, don't sing your favorite song because your favorite song is likely one of those super high tenors and you can't pull it off, so just skip it. Like people try to sing Queen, or they try to sing a Journey song with the tight, right? And they're like, he goes, sing a song that people want to sing with you, was his second advice. And he goes, and you get way more out of just being fully expressed than whether you get it right. That was his third thing. Be fully expressed versus getting it right. Yeah. And then, in addition to that, they had jam rooms in their company headquarters. So they had practice rooms, multiple practice rooms where people could book time. And he encouraged people to create their own band and then work on a song and then play it at the, annual meeting. And because he knew what we're circling around, which is when people get together and play music together and go through the like awkwardness of it and the attuning of it, and then it's like a hero's journey, right? Like,
totally.
And then you come out the other side and you're like, oh my God, look where we are. And so he encouraged that. It was part of their culture building, menu for the company. So I've always loved that. And if I ever started a company, which I probably would never will now, I would do that. I would have music be like woven throughout.
It's so brilliant. Wow. I just love that visual of this growing, really, big company having like music practice rooms and encouragement for jamming and writing songs together.
Right. All the equipment's plugged in, like it's all ready to go. Flip the switch.
Yeah.
Plug in your guitar.
Yeah.
Go.
Totally. Totally. Yeah. I mean, the brilliance of encouraging your employees, your team members to play. Literally. Okay, so there's another term that, of course, has other
play together,
other implications, but like play. We
literally
together.
are playing music.
Yes.
It's interesting. I was at there's an organization. Oh gosh, I forgot the name of the organization, but they create camps. These like 3-day camps for kids who have lost a parent, as a place to hold them to grieve, or a grandparent. And they come to these camps, and I was a cabin person for a group of boys. And there's a gentleman who comes to all the camps. He's pretty much there. And he comes and he teaches people how to drum. He gives them sticks. He gives them 5-gallon buckets, and they make their own drums. They just practice with the things, and he teaches them all the like things. But he gets the whole group like drumming together with their drumsticks on these 5-gallon buckets from Home Depot, which they've used tape on top to create a drum head. And at the beginning, you're like, oh, this is just going to be a headache. This is going to be, these kids are, and at the end, these kids are like rocking it and you can just feel the cohesion of the group. And all he did was, right. I'm sure there's all this like science around, nervous system, body, the movement, all of that, and like what that does for us. And we can all attune to the same beat.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, yes, attunement of, heartbeats entering into the same cadence. And I mean, there's just so many examples where our kind of physiology wants to tend toward harmony, harmony and attunement. Well, I know that I invited you to maybe sing something, and I'm curious if you're willing to share something that you've been loving, that's been working you, that you've been working on, that's been strumming your heartstrings lately.
Yeah. Okay. You prepared me for this, so
Yeah.
I'll say yes,
Cool.
but not without a little nervousness.
Yeah, perfect. I'll say that in the very first episode of The Sage and the Song, I said I'm gonna be sharing songs in this podcast, and they are not going to be professionally recorded songs. They are not going to be, album quality songs. These are going to be heart songs. So that has been the foundation of this podcast from the very beginning.
Okay. Well, this is a song called La Ventana, and it's by, do you know, Miguel? I want to know who this is by before
I'll grab my songbook.
Your songbook? It's in
I'll
there.
look it up.
Okay,
It's
we'll
right
get it
behind me.
afterwards. All right. And this song I learned a year ago, actually, this week. I started learning it. I heard Lisa and Cielo sing it.
Aw.
And I was like, oh my God, I love this song. And then I found out it was in 6/8. I'm like, shoot, I don't know how to play in 6/8. And it's a love letter to the earth, is what it is.
And
Let
isn't
me
it
look
amazing
through this window,
Yeah, how you heard this song and it just grabbed you.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how songs do that for us. And some don't, right? Some songs that grab you don't grab me. And it's so deeply personal how music touches us. This is by Los Kjarkas, which, they've written quite a few bangers. Traditional South American band.
You hear it all right?
Sounds great.
Déjame mirarte por esa ventana que por las mañanas veo en tus ojos y brillo de tu alma color solitario. Déjame decirte en mis pensamientos yo llevo tus sueños y tus sentimientos y mi alma siente morirse pequeña. Quiero hablarte de mi tierra, quiero hablarte de ríos y sueños celestes. Hablarte del viento y sus cantares, del amor de las flores, la tierra mojada. Quiero hablarte de mi tierra, quiero hablarte de ríos y sueños celestes. Hablarte del viento y sus cantares, del amor de las flores, la tierra mojada. Déjame mirarte por esa ventana. Déjame mirarte por esa ventana. Y por las mañanas veo en tus ojos el brillo de tu alma color solitario. Déjame decirte y mis pensamientos. Yo llevo tus sueños y tus sentimientos, y mi alma siente morirse pequeña. Quiero hablar de mi tierra, quiero hablarte de ríos, sueños celestes. Hablarte del viento y sus cantares, del amor de las flores, la tierra mojada. Déjame mirarte por esa ventana. Déjame mirarte por esa ventana.
Beautiful. Qué belleza. How was that for you, my friend?
Both joyful, heartful, and nerve-wracking. It is. There's like, like I could feel like just tingles.
Yeah.
And, like a spaciousness out here. It's been another thing, like the latest edge for me is when I do choose to play a song, in a sense, I have a complicated history and relationship with taking up space. And so choosing to do that, like, definitely presses the edge of taking up space. Like, I'm not the person that, like, there's a part of me that I think like really likes it and wants it, but there's a bigger part that's so uncomfortable with the taking up space. Like, it's dangerous, like, for that part. It's like, so there's a real edge, like, do you remember that movie, the Barbie movie?
Oh, yes.
Remember, like, the Ken and all the Kens singing their song? Like, there was like that. Like,
Yes.
I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy. I want to be someone who's just like making an offering, doing it humbly, and then like just coming back to, like, it ends and I'm back to my listening and attuning and making room. And so anyway, that's a whole different piece of it, but
Yeah.
definitely an edge to take up space and offer a
Yeah.
song that is imperfect,
Yeah.
yet beautiful.
Yeah, that's right. Well, thanks for sharing that in a real, authentic way. And that is definitely a factor and a facet of making music and really using our voice, period. I've spent a number of years now being a choir director and a voice coach and working with people with their singing voice really morphed into me working with people on their messaging and on their copy and like all sorts of really interesting, their signature story and like the way that they talk about themselves and their work or their life and their mission. And that is such a through line of, do I have a right to take up space? Is it okay for me to take up space? Am I taking up too much space? If I take up space, is it tasteful? Is it tactful? Is it, does it sound good? Does it look good? I mean, there's so many tender places that touches on for men, for women, for all of us. I feel like we all have our own like visibility wounding in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Like when I was 17 and in the choir, quick little ending on an embarrassing note story. We were singing the Christmas concert for like the whole student body. They drag everybody into the, auditorium and I'm on the front row and we're singing this like Russian Christmas folk song. And it has two endings. And the first ending goes like, hi, ha, 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 ha. And then it pauses, long pause, dramatic pause. And it goes back to the beginning, like quieter, and it builds up to this like big crescendo. And the second ending goes, hi, ha, 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 ha. And I'm a tenor, so I'm hitting this like D or D sharp, right? Like, and I get the endings confused. So it goes, hi, ha, 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 ha. And it takes me a second to realize like I'm the only person singing. And it would have been probably okay if I didn't like realize it and then go shit. And then like everybody's in that audience. My brothers are in that audience.
Oh my God.
Girl I have a crush on's in that audience. My soccer player friends who are in that audience, and I'm like totally want to be cool, and like the laughter started, and then we got the song back on track. But I didn't want to go back to class that day. I was literally like so devastated.
Wow.
The things we make important,
Yes, the things we make important.
It's like,
that's right.
Yeah.
Is it okay with you if I share a short little snippet of a song before we close? Because I feel like I had it on deck. Like, I wonder if there will be space for this. And it seems like it's resonant with this topic of, what we make of things in our mind. And I think I had mentioned to you when we were setting up for this call, but years and years ago, I had a dream, and I've had this incredible phenomenon in the last decade or so where I catch songs in my sleep, in my dreams. And
that's amazing, first of all.
I know, it is amazing.
I'm jealous.
I mean, I really feel like it is entirely the fact of how much singing I do, right? It's like, it just must be that. But years ago when I lived in Santa Barbara, I had this dream that I still, how you remember like the essence of a dream and it's not like all the particulars, but I had a dream. And in my dream, you and Tamra, your wife, were in the dream, and I was like directing a choir, a song circle, and you two started singing this song. And I got it going with the whole group, and it was like really fun. And I woke up with this song and realized, as I do sometimes when I am like with it enough to catch it, that like, oh my God, that song only exists in my dream. And Simon and Tamra just like brought it through in my dream.
Do we get song credits? Like buy credits on this?
You definitely get inspiration credits. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what was happening with the muse in the dream time. But I was able to record what I remembered, and it's still only like a partial song, but just, I mean, I haven't thought about this song in years, and I like lost it on a recording. And then in preparing for this call, it kind of came back. So I would love to sing what I have of it as a little seed, and I'm feeling inspired. Maybe it will revive itself. So, all right, it goes like this. Don't get me wrong, don't get me wrong. I'm grateful for my mind, I'm grateful for my mind. Don't get me wrong, don't get me wrong. I'm grateful for my mind, I'm grateful for my mind. But these petty thoughts, they wanna take me over. Cruel, critical voices, they wanna take me over. Senseless rumination, it wants to take me over. And the endless judgment, it wants to take me over. It wants to isolate me, it wants to take me over. Ridicule and separate me. Whoa, get me out of my, get me out of my, get me out of my, get me out of my head, and let me live my life, let me live my life, let me live my life in the present moment. Get me out of my, get me out of my, get me out of my, get me out of my head, and let me live my life, let me live my life, let me live my life in the present moment. Don't get me wrong, don't get me wrong. I'm grateful for my mind, I'm grateful for my mind. That's all I got so far.
Oh, so good! I love the alliteration with the C. Cruelty. What's that? Cruelty.
Yeah, cruel, critical voices.
Yes, cruel, critical voices. Yeah, that's great. I love that whole thing. And
yeah, like that was the main thing of this, like yeah. So fun.
So the first time a little teeny song's coming through, I'm not going to do it. And another one, I was all I had was the word. I was actually with Lisa, and I'm in, and she's inviting, it's like, hey, anybody have like a new song? And I knew there would be an opportunity to sing something that had never been sung before. So she said, anybody have a song that's never been sung before? And all I had was this phrase that matters to me. It's kind of part of my own healing, remembering this. And so all I had was that phrase. And I just opened my mouth and I sang that phrase in some way. And then this thing happened. So I'm just going to sing the phrase, because this is another thing about the song thing, which is just the medicine of the song for me. And potentially for others, right? Like that last song you sang was like, I could see how Tamara and I sang that in your dream, because like that would be something I would sing to myself to remember that there's more than this cruel, critical mind. So here's the song. Regardless of what you have ever thought, you are never alone. Regardless of what you have ever thought, you are never alone. You are held, you are loved, you are seen from above. You are held, you are seen, you are loved from above. Regardless of what you have ever thought, You are never alone. You are held. You are seen. You are loved from above. Regardless. Something like that.
I love it. Ah, so good. Nice work.
Thanks for this. This is fun.
Takes courage. Yeah. Thanks for being here, Simon. So delightful to sing with you and to get to hear more about how music is gifting your life and gifting those around you in all sorts of myriad ways.
Yeah, it's a testimony to the safe space you create that I was willing to pull out something that's half baked.
Yeah. Well, likewise. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.